The following is an encore presentation of stories from the Dooralong Transformation Centre. To 14 minutes past 10, that was quite a lengthy track, that one. It's Wednesday morning. You're not surprised, therefore, when I tell you that opposite me is one of our great guests from the Dooralong Transformation Centre. This morning, it's Emma. Good morning to you, Emma.
Good morning.
Emma's not from, well, she is from the Dooralong Transformation Centre, but you're almost like from another country. Whereabouts in Australia are you from, Emma?
Western Australia.
Yeah, you come from Perth, don't you?
Yeah.
So a long way away. How long have you lived here on the East Coast?
For 6 and a bit months now.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It takes a bit of getting used to, does it?
Yeah, I'm still trying to get used to it.
Still trying to get used to it. Does it feel really different than Perth?
Yeah. It's a lot more, well, not so much the coast, but when I go down to Sydney and stuff, it's a lot more faster.
Yeah. Well, we're glad that you're here. We're
you.
not all that happy that you have to be at Dooralong, but it's a good place to be.
Yeah.
Emma was telling me before we got started that her issues are, well, you tell people, Emma, what are the addictions that are in your life?
Drugs and gambling.
Drugs and gambling.
Yeah.
So we've had people with sort of drugs and alcohol. I don't think we've had that combination of drugs and gambling, but does that mean you've got one of these personalities that sort of is addictive?
Yeah, anything I get too involved in takes over.
Yeah, so there's no middle ground, it's all or nothing.
Yeah, all the way.
When did drugs make their ugly appearance in your life?
When I was 13, I started experimenting with just marijuana.
Yeah.
And then
that was a school thing, rite of passage. Yeah,
because I hung out with like people a bit like a couple years older than me, so and then when I was 15, that's when the speed and ice come into my life.
Yeah.
And ecstasy.
That's a pretty quick progression, isn't it, from what some people call a soft drug to sort of ice, a hard drug, in just 2 years. Yeah. But then I suppose that goes back to that sort of addictive personality that you have.
To feel good type thing,
So it was giving you some sort of, well, obviously it was giving you something. What was it giving you?
Besides a bit of energy, just kind of like, just made me feel good.
Made you feel good,
Took me out of reality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Escapism.
Yeah, escape what's
life.
going on,
Escape what's going on, So, but at the age of 15, 16, were you still at school when you were doing ice?
Yeah. I left school I think I was about 16,
Yeah.
Then I didn't do really much.
Yeah. Did Mum and Dad, I mean, perhaps they wouldn't have noticed if you was careful with the marijuana, but surely they would have noticed when you started taking ice.
They knew the difference in, like, me.
Yeah. Did they speak to you?
Yeah.
And what was your reaction, your attitude?
I wasn't on drugs.
In denial?
Yeah, in denial, pretty much,
So, as far as you were concerned, there wasn't a problem?
Yeah. I just thought it was just what I do on weekends, because it started off as just like a weekend thing.
You're not one of these people, like we've had so many people from Dooralong who think they could stop if they wanted. Were you one of those, into that category?
I thought I could.
Yeah.
But then when I wanted to, I couldn't.
Yeah. So you're now addicted to ice at the age of 15?
Yeah, or not so much 15. That was just pretty much just on weekends, and but for about 17, 18, that's when
it was a full-blown addiction.
It was a problem, yeah.
And what does a full-blown addiction to ice look like? What would be a sort of typical day for you?
Just trying to like get your next high, and then you get your next high, and then you just it's just a continuous chase. Yeah. Sort of
like a rat on one of those wheels in the lab.
Yeah, a very dark place too.
Yeah. So the single most important thing in your life wasn't mum or dad or relationships?
No, it was the dealer.
Your relationship with the drug was the most important thing. And we've had people tell us they would have done anything to...
Yeah.
Is that so?
Yeah.
So strong is the...
Not so, I wouldn't say anything.
No.
But, I used to lie a lot to reasons of why I had no money or why I needed money. Because, I just wanted to be high all the time. And
you mentioned also that you were also addicted to gambling.
Yeah.
Pokies.
Yeah.
That surprised me when I was talking to Emma before we went on air. And that surprised me a little bit, because the one thing I know about Western Australia, well, I know a few things, but one of the things I know is that they don't have pokies in the pubs.
No.
So how come you're addicted to pokies?
I found online gambling. I started off, I was just telling the girls the other day, I was playing Candy Crush, and I used to buy lives because I was addicted to playing Candy Crush.
Yeah.
And then one of my friends introduced me to online pokies. So I started up just playing pretty much online. You know, I'd go to the casino every now and then, but if I was at the casino, I'd be on my phone gambling as well as like on a machine, you know. So
how easy, how hard is it for a teenager to gamble online?
Easy. As long as you know, they've got a key, like a debit card.
Yeah.
You can pretty much sign up.
Yeah. There aren't many checks in place.
No. Or if you want to draw out, you've got to pretty much send in like your license, like a statement and stuff. But you know, if a kid knows someone who's 18, pretty much just get them to sign up for them. You know, like it's so easy these days.
Yeah. So
it's sad.
In theory, there might be sort of restrictions there, but in practice, no.
So easy.
How bad did that become for you?
Pretty bad, but it come a lot in hand with the drugs.
Yeah.
But I found myself being at Dooralong. That's what I want to do, but I've controlled myself and I haven't. But yeah.
You were telling me again or you gave me an indication of just how bad the gambling habit was. A friend pointed out something to you with your emails.
No, my father.
Oh, his father.
He went online for one of my emails. I've got many email addresses due to online gambling. And he said, mate, you know, you've got a problem. There's over 2,500 emails from online pokies.
2,500 emails?
And that's just from one email address.
From these pokey
from different online pokies.
The online pokies people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do they not sort of, when you reach a certain amount of debt, do they not sort of withdraw the facility, or?
Well, like you just keep signing up on different email addresses.
Oh, right. So
and some of them pick up on it, like. But yeah, some just
And it's
all about the money.
So easy to make up an email address, isn't it?
Yeah. 2 seconds.
2 seconds.
Yeah.
So how many accounts did you have eventually?
I've got about 5 accounts.
5 accounts.
Which I've got rid of now. I'm down to 1 account that I've made since being at Dooralong.
Rather personal question. You don't have to answer them if you don't want to. But what was the sort of total debt? How bad did it become?
I couldn't really say, but.
We're talking thousands?
Yeah, over time, like a lot of money.
So you didn't really win?
Nah.
I mean, you had wins.
I had a good win just before Christmas, and that went straight back in.
Yeah.
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 I used to keep it under, you know, all my friends like, what are you doing on your phone, Emma? I'm like, nothing. Like, just,
And
didn't want anyone to know what I was doing, because if I did have a win, I didn't want them to know.
No.
Yeah.
And if you won money, you possibly just buy more drugs.
Yeah.
So
and
the two addictions.
Between the drugs and putting it back in the pokies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're in a pretty sorry state there,
Yeah.
right? It's not a very enjoyable existence.
No, it's not. It's comes to a point where it's life, you know, like
It's
I didn't know anything else.
And it's hard work.
Yeah. Trying to keep up with the lies, it gets very tiring.
Yeah.
And then most of the times, like, the only time I could relax is when I had no money. Like, I knew I couldn't get any more money to be able to gamble or take drugs. So that's when I would try to kind of like die and go to sleep.
Yeah. So, what prompted you to seek help? What sort of, we've talked before about what they call it, Dooralong, the gift of desperation.
Yeah.
It's when people are in such a desperate state that it's then that they reach out for help, and look back in retrospect, that was a gift. But what was a gift of desperation for you?
Well, pretty much my partner at the time, she gave up on me.
Yeah.
And she was my everything, you know, and
yeah.
I kind of burnt all the bridges with her, which is, you know, she had 4 kids that she had to protect too, and she wasn't on drugs or anything herself.
But to protect herself and a kid, she had
to walk away. And also my mum, I lost my mum through it all. Like, she doesn't want anything to do with me at the moment. So kind of, you know, I gave my house up just before all this happened, and I moved back in with my mum.
Yeah.
And she kicked me out, so I was back at rock bottom. I had no house to go to. I sold my car.
Yeah.
Like, I had nothing. So I reached out. I was grateful enough. I have an auntie who works at William Booth.
Yeah.
And I gave her a call. I'm like, what can you do for me?
So if people are listening and they've just started drugs, it might seem very glamorous at the beginning.
Yeah, and it's not very fun.
But it's not fun.
No.
It can lead to, as it has in Emma's case, to a real rift in the relationship with your mum.
Yeah.
Real rift in other sort of significant relationships in your life.
Yeah.
And there's not much joy in it
No.
at that stage, is there?
No, I pretty much burnt my bridges.
Yeah.
You know, I was grateful enough that my father, he's been my number one supporter, and yeah, he's pushed me along the way and, you know, pushed me to get a better life.
So what's a girl from Perth doing on the Central Coast down at Dooralong Transformation Centre?
I was desperate.
Yeah.
Like, I tried doing recovery in Western Australia a couple of times.
Yeah.
And being so close to home and knowing my friends are just there doing what they've done,
all the temptations.
Yeah, I didn't like, you know, 24 hours a week, you know, max I'd last. So, I pretty much didn't want to do recovery in Western Australia. I wanted to step outside what I knew.
Yeah.
So that's why I decided to reach out.
It's like a fresh start.
Yeah, start fresh.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you came over to join your dad in Sydney.
Yeah, yeah.
And was it he that told you about Dooralong, or?
No, my auntie, because obviously she works at William Booth, and I wasn't allowed to do recovery at her centre, being conflict of interest.
Okay.
So they said like I could do detox there, but I had to go to Dooralong. That's when I found Dooralong.
And that's what you did.
Yeah, and that's what I did. Flew over here on a Thursday morning. I left Wednesday night in Perth. Got into Sydney early in the morning, and then straight into detox that day. No
Pretty
stopping.
intense. Yeah.
But it was the only way I could do it.
And when you look back now upon that decision to sort of come over to the East Coast and go to Dooralong, how do you view that decision?
Oh, the best thing I've ever done.
Best thing you've ever done. So you may have made some regrettable life decisions in the past, but there's one good one.
Yeah. There's a light at the end of that tunnel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that light at the end of the tunnel, well, we'll talk about that, but we'll have some more music first, and then we'll come back and see how the last 6.5 months have been going for Emma. And we're back. It's 10:30 this Wednesday morning. We're talking to Emma, all the way from Western Australia. Been at Dooralong for the last 6.5 months.
6.5 months, yeah.
Yeah. I asked very briefly how it was going at the sort of top of our interview. You said it was going well. What's going well for you at Dooralong?
Just recovery, really. Like, just how much I've come, like how far I've come in the last 6 months.
Yeah. So the Emma I'm seeing now isn't the same Emma I would have been seeing and speaking to 6 months ago?
No way. I wouldn't even be sitting here speaking to you.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Coming very broken and very angry and...
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you've all those... These are those issues you talked about with your mum and the relationships that broken down. It must have left a scar on you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you come from Western Australia. You fly over to see your dad in Sydney, and you more or less whisk straight away from the airport. Aren't you, to William Booth? Yeah,
I had pretty much an hour to get from the airport into detox.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What did you make of Dooralong when you got there? Was it like you imagined it was going to be?
Not really. Like, it's a lot better than what I thought it would be.
Yeah.
Like, you know, when you think about rehab, you think about, you know, a very clinical place and stuff like that. But it's beautiful out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got to remember some days that I'm actually in rehab, not in a resort.
Yeah. Well, it used to be a resort,
it used to be,
and it still feels like a resort. I mean, and it is a beautiful setting, isn't it? In the bush there.
Yeah.
Yeah. What has been the low point for you, perhaps, on the last 6 months?
Just being away from home.
Yeah.
You know, especially like when bad stuff happens back home, I can't be there for everyone.
Yeah, because you're sort of you're talking home there in the sense of Perth, aren't you?
Yeah.
So it's thousands of k's away.
Yeah.
It's like in another country, really, isn't it?
Pretty much.
Yeah. So when bad stuff happens to friends and family.
Yeah. Like I can't be there for them.
Yeah.
But then I just got to remember that I'm in the best place.
Yeah. You got to look after yourself first.
I come first, and I've never really put myself first, so...
Yeah. Any thoughts of, I was going to say jacking it in, but any thoughts of sort of walking out the gate, that it was all just too hard?
Yeah. I knew if I walked out, that'd be straight back into addiction.
Yeah.
And it's not really the life I want anymore. I spent pretty much all my life in some sort of addiction. And I'll be 30 on Sunday, and it's time something changes.
Yeah.
So.
And it's time to do something about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You say there that something has changed. You don't want to live in addiction anymore.
No.
You have hope for the future?
Yeah, heaps.
Heaps of hope for the future.
Sorry,
go on.
There's a better life out there.
Yeah, there is. And you've only just started to taste it, haven't you?
Yeah, I've only just got a little bit of taste of it. So
yeah. And how long has it been since you've been 6 months clean? Can you remember the last time you've been clean for 6 months?
No, never.
Because this would be going back to when you were 13 or 14.
Yeah, 13. Yeah.
Yeah.
I still
So you're seeing the world through completely new sort of eyes, aren't you?
It's such a better life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What job do they have you doing? I know everybody has to work for their living.
Yeah. When I first got in there, I was on property, just raking leaves and stuff. But a couple of girls left, so I jumped up and put my hand up to go in the kitchen, just for lunch and dinner.
Yeah.
Time,
and I know you have great dinners, and I know you have a great dinner on a Wednesday because it's chapel
awesome.
night, isn't it?
Best night of the week.
Best night of the week, roast dinner and chapel.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I've mentioned this before, and I hope I'm not boring listeners saying it, but one of the amazing things that struck us from Rima when we went down to the chapel night was the genuine support that the participants showed for each other. And it wasn't just an act. They weren't just saying, "Oh, well done," because it was a polite thing to say. It was really heartfelt.
Yeah.
It's a real community feel, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a good community, especially, obviously we don't have a lot to do with the males there, but the girls' community, like, it's a pretty strong community there at the moment.
Yeah.
Like, everyone's got each other's back and,
Yeah, looking after each other. Yeah.
Like, at the end of the day, we're all going through hard times, but, put all aside, like, we're all there for each other, so it's good.
You mentioned there, and we'll just explain that for the listeners, that the sleeping quarters for the girls are segregated from the
males.
Yeah, so we understand that. Yeah.
Sorry.
So you were telling me off air that during the first couple of weeks you were tempted to just walk out, weren't you?
Yeah.
Was that hard? Was it to begin?
Yeah, I just thought it'd be easier, less having to look in myself.
Yeah.
Thought it'd be easier just to leave and not have to worry about it, but
because that must be hard. Looking in yourself and seeing what it is in my personality that I find I have to mask with drugs and gambling. Yeah, I'm thinking to myself as you said that, Emma, you wouldn't have known where to go. You've only been on the East Coast for about an hour, and you step foot outside of the Dooralong gates, you wouldn't know whether to turn left or right.
I do have an auntie and uncle who live not far from Dooralong.
Yeah.
But everyone had a bit of a pact that if I was to ring someone to come pick me up, that the answer's going to be no.
No, you're staying where you are.
Yeah, pretty much. Unless I decided to jump back on an aeroplane, I would have been on my own.
Unless you can get the Uber people out there, you were stuck. Yeah.
But I'm glad I didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It must be particularly hard for somebody who's from interstate at Dooralong because you don't get. I know your dad's out here, and that does make a big difference. Yeah. But visitors and family members, which can make such a difference to people.
Yeah.
You don't have that support, do you?
Nah. I've had
my
auntie and uncles come at they come pick me up, or I'll go down to dad's. But have pretty much the only friendships I've got are from the girls in Dooralong.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, everyone's got their own kind of life going on. So
yeah. Do you feel as if you're missing out?
Yeah, it's like a lot of days I feel very lonely.
Lonely.
Yeah, even though I'm surrounded by 140 people, but it does get very lonely.
Yeah. And how are things with your family? How are things with your dad?
Yeah, awesome. We've started to build a relationship. I've going to move in with him when I finish. And I haven't lived with him since I was 15. Yeah. So it's going to be a big different. But
what about your mum? Because I know that was broken when you were in addiction. Is it still broken?
Yeah, I haven't spoken to mum since Christmas Eve when I left home.
Yeah.
And I just got to let that be for now.
Let that be.
Yeah.
Yeah, lots of trust issues and bridges, but they don't have to be dealt with now.
Nah.
Yes.
All in good time.
All in good time, one step at a time. Yeah. Look, we're going to break for some more music, then we'll come back and talk to Emma and see what sort of hopes and dreams she has for the future, because you graduate quite soon, don't you?
Yeah, in about 3 weeks.
Yeah, you've got the date, have you?
Yeah, 14th of August.
So, about 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So we'll come back and talk to Emma about what she's going to do when she gets to walk through those gates, Dooralong, and out into I was going to say the big bad world, but out into the real world. It's coming up to 11:15 here on 94.9. We're just talking to Emma this morning, all the way from Western Australia, but for the last 6.5 months at Dooralong. And you graduate, you were telling us, on the 14th of August.
14th of August, yep.
Yeah. What's the plan after you graduate, Emma?
I'm going to be going down to Sydney.
Yeah.
Stay with my dad and do some study.
Yeah.
And hopefully can get some part-time work in between.
Yeah. Studying what?
I'm pretty sure it's called Home and Individuals. It's to be able to work in like a refuge and stuff. And then I'm gonna follow on and do a youth worker course after that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's the that's something you really want to do.
Yeah,
it's something
it's
you
my
feel
passion,
passionate about.
Yeah.
And I think you've had a bit of a taste of that. Tell the listeners about that taste of it that you've had.
Well, about 2 months ago, a couple of kids from the PCYC come in, and they were 15-year-olds starting to, get involved in drugs and stuff.
Experimenting,
a couple of us got the opportunity to sit with the kids and just, let them know, it's a dark place out there.
Yeah.
So one of the ladies came up to us afterwards and said that it's the first time she's seen the kids actually take in what people have said to them, so hopefully just, at least one of them kids.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's something that I've always been passionate about, is to help kids.
Yeah, and that would be so rewarding, perhaps not financially, but it would be so rewarding and fulfilling to be able to do work like that.
Yeah, it's not about the money, it's just about giving back to the community and, helping out people who need help.
Yeah, and feeling you've made a difference in somebody's life.
Yeah.
It's
as long as
nice feeling.
One person gets some help, like from me, I'll be happy.
Yeah, and there will be supports in place for you. We were talking about those earlier from Salvation Army when you leave.
Yeah, when I leave, I'm going to tee up with I think it's called Pathways, and also Nepean Hospital.
Yeah,
just to get that little bit of help and continue on outpatient program when I leave.
Yeah. It's a bit of a scary time, isn't it? As well as being an exciting time.
Yeah, I'm quite nervous.
Quite nervous about it. Yeah, apprehensive.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think that's you. That would be everybody that graduates.
Yes,
I think they all go through that.
It's just the unknown of, you know, especially coming, so far away and not knowing anyone, and I just,
But you must be quite a strong person, because you have come. You've left all your friends and nearly all your relatives way back there on the West Coast. You've come over here not knowing anybody. Well, I know your dad's here. And you've gone to sort of Dooralong and sort of taking yourself out of your comfort zone really in a big way. So would you say you are a strong-willed person?
Yeah, I want it this time. And
you want it?
I think that's what the difference is compared to my other attempts at rehab. I actually wanted it this time round.
Yeah.
So to step outside that circle, it's something everyone has to do if they want recovery. You can't really keep going back to the same old and getting different changes.
No, you need that hope back in your life for a better life.
Nothing changes.
No. And finally, what do you think of the Salvos?
Oh, I love them. Lifesavers.
Lifesavers. Yeah. They do wonderful work, don't they? Lovely
they
people.
Go beyond, beyond anything.
It's Christianity in action. They don't just preach it, they don't just talk about it, they actually get their hands dirty and they do it, don't they?
Like, if it wasn't for the Salvos, I don't know where I'd be right now.
And you mean that literally? You just don't know where you would be?
I literally don't know where I'd be.
Yeah. That's scary, isn't it?
Yeah.
But they're giving you hope for the future.
Yeah.
And a plan for the future.
Yeah, welcome me in with arms wide open.
Yeah.
And I'd never, couldn't repay him, couldn't thank him enough.
And it's chapel night tonight.
Yes, it is.
So you get a chance to sort of...
best night of the week.
Best night of the week. Some sort of energy in the room.
Yeah.
Big energy in the room. Yeah. Look, Emma, it's been a delight to talk to you.
Yeah, thank you.
We pray that God will continue to guide you. He guided you all the way over from the West Coast to Dooralong because he had a plan for you. And if he had a plan to bring you that far, I'm sure he's got a plan for you when you leave Dooralong.
Thank you very much.
Okay. God be with you.
Yeah, thank you.
You've been listening to an encore presentation of the Dooralong stories, which can be heard live every Wednesday at 10 a.m. and repeated 8 p.m. Sunday and 1 a.m. Wednesday, right here on 94.9 rema.cc.